Rosetta Stone is the very best product out there to learn.
J'aime quand je rêve en français.
I'm so glad that I got the program.
It just works perfectly.
Rosetta Stone is, in my opinion, the only method there is to learn a language.
Call now for a free demo and experience why Rosetta Stone is the fastest way to learn a language, guaranteed. Call now.
Closed captioning brought to you by Eggland's Best Eggs. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Want to give your family more vitamins, omega-3s, and less saturated fat? It's Evie, Eggland's Best. Better eggs.
It's Evie.
Aaron Burnett, Anderson Cooper, and Piers Morgan take you to the biggest inaugural celebrations in Washington. Live coverage tonight, 7 Eastern on CNN.
My name is Kimberly Chambers. A few years ago, I nearly lost my leg in an accident. After several surgeries and treatments, my doctors were able to prevent an amputation. Now, I'm training to swim the English Channel.
Today, slow DSL turns life into a waiting game. But tomorrow, it's game on. Speed past old DSL with Xfinity Internet from Comcast. Xfinity delivers the fastest in-home Wi-Fi, so everyone can be online on all of their devices, all at the same time. Switch to Xfinity Internet for $24.99 a month for 6 months, with Stream Picks included. Enjoy unlimited access to hit movies and entire past seasons of TV shows. Tomorrow could be awesome if you call 1-800-XFINITY today.
This is CNN.
The Dobbins Bennett High School Band of Kingsport, Tennessee, the largest high school band in the state of Tennessee, one of the oldest, most prestigious bands in the southeastern United States, performing now for the President of the United States and for us. The 54th Massachusetts Volunteer Infantry Regiment, Company B from Silver Spring, Maryland. As we watch them, let's bring in our own celebrity stylist, our own Alina Cho, who's joining us right now. Alina, you got a special guest with you, Carson. Tell our viewers who you got there. Carson Kressley, he's a well-known TV personality. I want to know about the fashion, the style. What is going on?
Well, I know you're your own fashionista, Wolf, so yes, we are going to get right to that. We do want to talk about what Michelle Obama was wearing today because, of course, a lot of talk about that. The best-kept secret in fashion, really. And when she emerged this morning, there you see her in the coat and dress made by American designer Tom Brown. I actually spoke to him today. He said, you know, in moments like this, you really are at a loss for words. But what a beautiful sight. She's wearing a J. Crew belt, J. Crew gloves. She wore J. Crew shoes, a Reed Krakoff cardigan that she actually wore yesterday, right, Carson?
She's shopping her closet.
Which I think is remarkable. I mean, I think that's a remarkable statement to make for this important moment. What did you think about how she looked?
You know, I think what's great about this is you see Michelle Obama's style really evolving over the years. And in the Tom Brown, very tailored, very traditional, a little demure and a little bit of a quiet look. But what I love is maybe not every American woman has access to a beautiful custom-made Thom Browne piece, but they do have access to the accessories, the J. Crew gloves you talked about, the J. Crew belt. So, you know, a lot of women look to her for fashion inspiration, and what's so great is she's very democratic about her style.
She most
and people can
certainly
access
is.
that.
I think what's also interesting about what happened with Michelle Obama today, that's getting sort of a lot of chatter online, is that she changed her shoes. She started out wearing J. Crew shoes.
Right.
She changed into these custom-made blue suede and calfskin boots by Reed Krakoff.
But she's a real woman, and even though she's very influential and she's on a lot of TV screens today, she's just like everybody else in that, you know, she might have worn the J. Crew pumps to the actual event, which was indoors, but she was like, it is cold out there. I'm putting some boots on, okay? And that's, you know, that's how we dress today. And I think what's so great about her as First Lady is that she dresses like so many other moms just like her.
She most certainly does. And one thing, I just got off the phone with Reed Krakoff, I can tell you, is that he told me that those boots, by the way, took 3 weeks to make. They made them with a foot mold of Michelle Obama's foot.
Right, her last.
And, you know, this is something, what an incredible nod to this American designer who also happens to be the president of the iconic American brand Coach. But let's talk about this moment for Thom Browne for a moment, because for him, this is a man who is known for sort of redefining menswear, those sort of shrunken suits, those ankle-length pants. Not as well known for his women's wear. What do you think this will do to him?
Well, I think, you know, just like Jason Wu, who was relatively unknown in 2009 during the first inauguration, that really put him on the map. And I think what Michelle Obama is so great at is really embracing homegrown talent and really working with emerging designers. Not that Thom Browne is emerging, because in the fashion biz, we've known about him for a long time. He's from Allentown, Pennsylvania, just like me. So he's a great American success story, but he hasn't been doing women's fashion that long. I believe maybe 2 years.
2 years is right, and he actually told me today that he hopes that after this moment, more people around the world will look at him and his women's fashion with a different eye, and I do believe that will happen. I mean, she looks extraordinary. I spoke with a writer, the fashion columnist with the Wall Street Journal today, and she told me, just looking at the back of her coat, you see just how well made it is, how well constructed it is. And you know, Tom told me something very interesting today. He said his tailor is always telling him there's no such thing as perfect, but he said, you know, this is as close as I'm going to get.
Almost perfect. Yeah, and I think it's a great statement, too, that fashion's an important industry here in the United States, and that really focusing on those American designers and American craftsmanship and American design is a great statement, because it's a big business here.
It most certainly is. Let's talk a little bit about the big moment tonight, because you're talking about one half of the fashion equation. One half of it has been solved with today's moment. But what about the inaugural balls tonight? What do you want to see her wear?
Oh, well, you know, I'm all about the ball or two, but I wish that she could kind of come out and do a really dazzling kind of Hollywood going to the Oscars kind of look. I don't think she will, because I think she's very sensitive to, you know, maybe not overdoing it. The economy is still not doing great. A lot of people are, you know, still facing a lot of hard times. So I think everything's toned down a little bit, but I think you're going to see it's a glamorous celebration. I think it's a big night for her, for her family. And I know we're probably going to see an emerging designer. I mean, that's really been her track record. There's not really one designer that she said, this is my guy. Kind of like even Hillary Clinton loved Oscar de la Renta and kind of stuck with a certain designer. Michelle kind of goes and sees various designers, lots of emerging talent, and chooses what she really responds to.
She does, and that most certainly, when you think about style and you think about fashion, that will be her legacy, really supporting, propping up emerging American designers, people who really need that boost. Wolf, back to you.
Yeah, Alina, a quick question for both of you. How much of an impact has she really had on fashion, not just here in Washington, but across the country?
Well, what's extraordinary, I can just tell you one quick anecdote about that, Wolf. I spoke to Reed Krakoff, who designed the outfit she wore yesterday to the swearing-in ceremony, and just got off the phone with him again today. He told me what's extraordinary about Michelle Obama, more than any other celebrity, if you will, on the planet, is that he is really hearing from people around the world. I mean, that message is seen around the world, worldwide. People are watching it here on CNN. And, you know, by one estimate, her one appearance in a designer's clothes is worth $14 million. All of her public appearances for the year worth $3 billion to the fashion industry. Pretty remarkable stuff. And when you look at a moment like this, an important day in history, well, you can bet it's far higher, that price tag.
Alina, thank you so. Alina, thank you so much. Carson, we got to leave it right there. Worries. Carson Kressley, Alina Cho. Thanks so guys, thanks very, very much. That's the Dr. Martin Luther King float going right past the reviewing stand right now. The float's designed featuring an image of Dr. King and a representation of his quote, "Out of the mountain of despair, a stone of hope." The Martin Luther King Jr. float on this Martin Luther King Day, an appropriate float as we watch what's going on. There's the president. He's with some of the Tuskegee Airmen who are being honored right now. Our own Frederica Whitfield, by the way, her dad, a Tuskegee Airman, one of the heroes of World War II, the African-American, the black aviators, who went in, fought for all of us against the Nazis in Europe, did brilliantly, even though they got inferior equipment, but they really managed to become heroes for all of us, and they're being well recognized, as they should be.
And a very special moment, President Obama spending time with them. As I did notice as we turn around, it does appear as if the First Lady, as well as Malia and Sasha, have gone back into at least gone into the residence. They seem to have left the reviewing stand. So the president is there, but you also see the Vice President Biden and his family all still there as well.
Looks like they've definitely gone back into the White House. Maybe they'll come back out. Maybe they're getting ready for all the balls and all the parties tonight.
Ladies need a little bit more time to get ready for this.
And if you heard Alina Cho and Carson Kressley, everybody's wondering, and I know you are, Jim Acosta, what dress you'll be wearing tonight, who the designer is.
I'm very curious about that. But, Wolf, I also think it is something to just pause and look at this moment that we're watching right now. President Obama greeting the Tuskegee Airmen there. There's a float honoring their achievements here as well. There's a strong civil rights theme running through this parade.
As there should be.
Yeah, as there should be. And it is worth taking one last look at that on this Inauguration Day.
There's a lot of history right there. A ton of history as we're watching what's going on. We'll take another quick break, resume our special coverage right here in The Situation.
Life insurance. Your parents bought it. Your parents' parents bought it. Today, 75 million American families rely on life insurance and retirement annuities. They played by the rules to plan for their financial future. So in these uncertain times, when consensus seems so difficult, financial security and peace of mind become more important than ever. It's good to know life insurance and retirement annuities are one thing we can always rely on.
What if the next big thing isn't a thing at all? It's lots of things, all waking up, connecting to the global phenomenon we call the Internet of Everything. It's going to be amazing and exciting, and maybe, most remarkably, not that far away. We're going to wake the world up and watch with eyes wide as it gets to work. Cisco, tomorrow starts here.
To the best vacation spot on earth.
The Gulf. It doesn't matter which of our great states folks visit. Mississippi,
Alabama, Louisiana,
or Florida. They're gonna love it.
Shaul, your Alabama hospitality is incredible.
Thanks, Karen. Love your Mississippi outdoors. I vote for your Florida beaches, Dawn.
Bill, this Louisiana seafood is delicious.
We're having such a great year on the Gulf, we've decided to put aside our rivalry.
Now is the perfect time to visit any one of our states.
The beaches and waters couldn't be more beautiful.
Take a boat ride, go fishing, or just lay in the sun.
We've got coastline to explore and wildlife to photograph.
And there's world-class dining with our world-famous seafood. So for a great vacation this year, come to the Gulf.
It's all fabulous, but I'd give Florida the edge.
Right after Mississippi.
You mean Alabama. Say Louisiana, where there's no dessert.
This invitation is brought to you by BP and all of us who call the Gulf home.
This is about 90 years of doing what others are not. And open-mindedness to the way things open. This is about shifting the concept of shifting. It's about finding inspiration in the unexpected. And being an audiophile's dream within a dream. It's making genius look simple. This is about going places others aren't. Introducing the Lincoln Motor Company.
Looks like you're in a pickle.
Yeah. Can you get me out of it?
Just so happens I know a chap.
Book any flight and hotel together and get access to our free personal concierge service. Any need, any question. We're on call 24/7.
Butter just got better. So try Smart Balance's newest butter and canola.